Hi, this is Carla from carlasglutenfreerecipebox.com. Today I'm showing you red wine gluten-free pasta. Here we have 2 tablespoons of melted butter. You can use oil if you're dairy-free or gluten-free, dairy-free margarine. Let's see. So once this melts and gets pretty hot, you're going to want to either mince, grate, or crush two cloves of garlic. I'm using a microplaner and just discarding the skin as I go. That's the first one. Then the second one, and you'll do the same with the skin, discard it. And you want to make sure that you do not have the fire too hot. I say fire, my mom used to say that. You want to make sure you don't have the heat too hot because it'll make the garlic bitter, and you don't want to add anything bitter to your dish. So you're going to stir that up and saute it until it's fragrant. Now this takes about 30 to 60 seconds. Sometimes, depending if your oil or your fat's not too hot, then it can go up to about 90 seconds. But we're gonna saute that until it gets fragrant, and stir as you go. This way it doesn't give you a chance to burn your garlic. And there's nothing wrong with, if you think the pan is getting too hot, just remove your skillet. Don't wait till the heat lowers and lower the temperature and wait. Just remove the entire skillet. Then after that, you're going to add your pasta directly to the skillet. I have a 12-inch skillet here. And you're going to do that. Oh, by the way, you have to use a certain kind of pasta. I'm using Barilla, which is made from rice and corn. And it might be pronounced Berea, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's in most grocery stores or on Amazon.com. I'm not sure, even Vitacost might carry it. Meanwhile, you're going to want to cover this with red wine and water. You can do just red wine, but because I'm using, well, you don't want to do just red wine because I think it'll be a little too strong. But depending upon how sweet or how strong the wine is that you're using and the flavor, maybe you don't like it because it's too sweet, or you don't like it because it's too not sweet enough, then you want to add a little bit more water. And the written recipe explains all that. But you want to get it so that it's enough liquid in there to soften the pasta, because you're going to bring it to a boil, as you can see here. This one's been boiling for 9 minutes, and I added additional water as the water started evaporating. But once that pasta starts sitting in that liquid, you can move it around eventually to cover it with the liquid. This one's all done now here. It's boiled for 13 minutes because that's what that pasta requires. And I'm going to smother mine in fresh chopped basil. And if you're dairy tolerant, then you can add some Parmesan cheese to that. If not, then you can add some cashew butter and some flakes of nutritional yeast. That'll give you a nice dairy flavor. And because pesto, I'm trying to make a deconstructed pesto dish. So pesto usually has pine nuts. I actually believe that almonds give more flavor. They provide so much wonderful flavor to pesto compared to pine nuts. So you can use whichever you want. You can grind up some pine nuts in a food processor. But if you do like the flavor of almond, then definitely add some ground almonds. And here's a short little trick, a little hack. Instead of dirtying up your food processor for the grinding almonds, you can use Bob Red Mill superfine almond flour, and just add a little bit of that. And I really like the superfine almond flour when I make dairy-free versions, because the almond flour looks like Parmesan cheese and sort of tricks your brain. As long as you have that cheesy flavor from the other 2 ingredients, it looks just like you're adding Parmesan. I'm using Parmesan Reggiano, which I prefer over Parmesan cheese. Meanwhile, you just toss that up and serve it in a bowl. As you can see here, the bowl works out nicely. And let me take a taste. Oops. This is really good. Oh my goodness. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. It will blow people away and so easy. Grab the recipe with a membership at glutenfreerecipebox.com.